You're in tune with Southern FM 88.3. Good evening, everyone. I'm Hehr, and this is Thanks for the Memory. Great lineup tonight. At 8:30, themes we remember. 9 o'clock, our Hall of Fame. 9:15 on this day, part 1. 9:30, Crosby Corner. 10 o'clock, our special, is part 1 of the Eddie Cantor story tonight. Eddie's own story in his words and music. 11 o'clock, Bill Cosby for comedy. 11:15, part 2 of On This Day, and Al Bowley Remembered at 11:30. Okay, let's open up our program with a nice bright one from Eric Winston and his orchestra. I walked in with my eyes wide open, and that was Eric Winston and his orchestra with Benny Lee on the vocal, and a nice bright version of the song to open our program tonight. We've got a very good lineup for you this evening through until midnight. I hope you're going to stay with us. And I was saddened to learn of the death just over the weekend of Cab Calloway, and later on tonight we'll have a little tribute to Cab, and we'll play one or perhaps even two, if we can fit them in, of his great songs. Until midnight, you're listening to Thanks for the Memory with Hehr on the great southern sounds of Melbourne, Southern FM 88.3.
I seem to be the victim of a cruel jest. It dogs my footsteps with the girl I love the best. She's just the sweetest thing that I have ever known. But still we never get the chance to be alone. My car wins, but her mother came too.
Such a big hotel, a very grand one, right up on the avenue. We could not afford it, but sweet, I just adored it. My very first and only rendezvous. In room 504.
You're tuned to the great southern sounds of Melbourne, 88.3 Southern FM.
Well, it's 12 and a half minutes after 8 o'clock, and we heard two songs in a row. Firstly, And Her Mother Came Too, Dennis Olsen, and a song written and published in 1921 by Ivan Novello. And then we heard Room 504, Benny Hale, and a song published in 1941, written by Eric Machliss and George Posford. And that's a nice thing, isn't it? It's a very nice tune, that one. In a moment, we'll have a look at Melbourne's weather.
When you can't read and write properly, life can be very difficult.
How can I help my kids to read when I can't do it myself?
Oh, I'd lose my job if the boss ever found out.
You feel like a second-class citizen.
You can get help to improve your reading and writing skills in your own home, and it's free. Call the Reading Writing Hotline for details. 1-800-02-1184. You can do it. 1-800-02-1184.
Very exciting program coming up in tonight, through until midnight, so stay with us, won't you? And I've got the wrong one. That's not the one we were supposed to play. This is the one.
And for the weather.
And the forecast for Victoria issued by the Bureau of Meteorology tells us of a warning. A strong south-westerly wind will extend to Victorian coastal waters east of Wilson's Promontory tonight, then ease in the west tomorrow. For Victoria, showers in southern and mountain districts becoming isolated tomorrow and contracting to the south. Local thunderstorms in the southeast clearing tonight. Cool southwesterly wind becoming general tonight and reaching strong wind force along the coast before moderating in the west tomorrow. A fire danger is high in the northern forests of Victoria. For Port Phillip Bay and Western Port Bay, southwesterly wind of 20 to 30 knots tonight with some stronger squalls. Wind easing to 15 to 20 knots during the morning. Waves of 1 to 2 metres decreasing to 1 metre or less tomorrow. A strong wind warning is current. And for the Melbourne metropolitan area, showers tonight with a few clearing showers tomorrow. Cloudy periods with a fresh southwesterly wind moderating tomorrow. We'll have an overnight low of 11 and a maximum tomorrow of 19. Currently it's 15.
Thanks, Matt. It's 8:15 and you're listening to Thanks for the Memory on Southern FM 88.3. Don't be without Legacy's old-fashioned Christmas puddings this season. Yes, Christmas is fast approaching. In fact, it's 5 weeks from today. And for those who always vow to make a Christmas pudding but never do, Legacy's old-fashioned Christmas is again on sale. This year, the pudding will sell for $7 each, but they are bigger. They're 800 grams and made with the finest Australian ingredients and a dash of rum. It's still there. Legacy's Christmas puddings are available from the Bank of Melbourne, Deaf Credit, your local RACV office, selected branches of the ANZ Bank and railway stations. And of course, you're helping Legacy in their great work. For further information, call Legacy on 6633 564, 6633 564 during business hours. And while we're talking about phone numbers, don't forget that if you're enjoying the program this evening through until midnight, or if you'd like a request played, you can dial our number, which is 556 4466, 556 4466, and we'll be only too happy to play a song for you or to give you a cheerio over the wireless. All right? It's now 16 past 8, Southern FM 88.3. Listening to Thanks for the Memory, part of your weekend on Southern FM 88.3. That was pretty, wasn't it? That was Carol Gibbons and his Boyfriends and a medley of tunes from the 1938 Warner Brothers film called Hotel Hollywood, or Hollywood Hotel. And we heard Silhouetted in the Moonlight, Let That Be a Lesson to You, and I've Hitched My Wagon to a Star. And before that, it was Henry Hall conducting the BBC Dance Orchestra and the vocalist Dan Donovan, and an Irving Berlin tune from the year 1936 called I'm Putting All My Eggs in One Basket.
Betty Sydney now has a new recipe.
True, a brand new, richer recipe that makes
Bigger, richer cakes.
Now Australia's newest electronic factory brings you
Bigger, richer cakes.
great new taste, moister, smoother texture.
Bigger, richer cakes.
Bigger in value, richer in flavour. Switch to
Bigger, richer cakes. From Betty Sydney.
only Betty Sydney has this brand new recipe. Bigger, richer cakes.
23 and a half after the hour of 8 o'clock, and at 8:30 tonight, Themes We Remember.
Your eyes will tell me all I want to know. When you come home once And in the evening by the firelight glow, you'll hold me close and never let me go. Your eyes will tell me all I want to know. When you come home once more. We'll gather lilacs in the street when you are home
When I was putting this program together, it's obvious that I was on a Ivor Novello kick. There we had another Ivor Novello beautiful song, We'll Gather Lilacs, Richard Tauber, and written and published in 1945 from the great Ivor Novello show, Perchance to Dream. I hope you enjoyed that lovely recording by Richard Tauber.
I'm an expert.
When it comes to open fires, I know how to make them burn efficiently. I keep my fires clean and use the correct solid fuel. Effective burning means economy and cleaner air. And I always leave a window or door slightly open so the fire can breathe. So can I, for that matter. Nothing like a bit of oxygen to keep a clear head.
Ventilation. It's nothing to get all stuffy about.
I never get stuffy.
A message from your State Pollution Control Authority and the Commonwealth Department of Health.
8:27, and we've got time to fit in this one, which comes to us from Sydney Lipton and the Grosvenor House Orchestra. Vocalist is Cyril Grantham. Darkness on the Delta. And there we heard from Sid Lipton and the Grosvenor House Orchestra with Cyril Grantham, Darkness on the Delta. It's now 29 minutes to 9, just a little bit late with themes we remember. It's time to relive memories of radio and TV shows of the past with themes we remember. It certainly is, and this part of the program is proving popular with people because we're getting calls about it, and we're getting people who are requesting us to play particular themes that bring back memories to them. Well, tonight we have two, one from radio. The first one is from radio, and the second one is from a television show. The radio one comes from 3XY, and it was used for many years as their news theme. It's entitled Under the Banner of Victory on an old Regal Zonophone 78. So settle back and relax and remember 3XY when they were down in the Princess Theatre and also in Faraday Street, and this particular piece of music. Memory or two in that piece of music. The Under the Banner of Victory March, and we heard that as part of the old 3XY news theme in Themes We Remember. Well, now our next piece of music takes us back to the late 50s and early 60s and Channel 7. This is a piece of music entitled Rush Hour. For people who like to know where it comes from, it's from a Chapel 78, from the Chapel Recorded Music Library, C375. And you may remember a program called Meet the Press, not the one that's on currently, on I think that's on the 10 network. This was on Channel 7, and the moderator, or the chairman, was one Frederick Howard. See if you remember Rush Hour as the theme for Meet the Press.
Join us next time when once again we relive memories of radio and TV shows of the past with themes we remember.
I bet you there's some very pleasant memories there. And that last piece of music, Rush Hour, was written by a great man indeed, a great composer and arranger, Robert Farnan. And I always enjoy Robert's work. He puts a lot into it. All right, I think we might have a little message, and then we'll come back and see what we're going to play next.
Until midnight, you're with Thanks for the Memory with Alex Hehr on the great Southern Sounds of Melbourne, Southern FM 88.3.
True love dwells, they will ring for you in all their glory at the serenade of the
Melbourne, 88.3 Southern FM.
Apologies for that. 17 minutes to 9 on Southern FM. Thank you very much for that, Raymond. And we heard that time Serenade of the Bells from Geraldo and his orchestra with Archie Lewis doing the vocal, and a song from 1947.
Oh, how embarrassment. The Papadakos Pizza Company's annual report is due next week. What will we do, Maria?
Oh, don't panic, right, Maria? I've already arranged everything, right, with Daryl Pittman at Village Graphics.
Huh?
Oh, they're the desktop publishing experts, right? They handle annual reports, publications, manuals, and they're even print consultants. They're incredible, right?
Where are they?
Suite 5, 99 Lightwood Road, Noble Park. And their number is 547-0909. Hey, Maria, I want that last piece of double salami pizza, all right?
Village Graphics, 579-0909. Proud supporters of Southern FM.
Sixteen to 9, and the next public concert of the Faye Dumont singers, titled Magnificat, celebrating the season and messages surrounding Christmas, will be held on Friday, December 2nd at 8 p.m. in the Sacred Heart Church at 199 Strathdown Street in Carlton. Settings of the Magnificat from Gregorian chant to the music of the 20th century, including Monteverdi, Victoria, Bach, Vaughan Williams, Part and Ramesh. So there you go. The Faye Dumont Singers on the 2nd of December at the Sacred Heart Church in Rathdown Street, Carlton. 15 minutes away from 9 o'clock at 9 o'clock Hall of Fame. One of our presenters here, Keith Bauer, who was actually doing panels for the previous program. I hope you're home now, Keith. You asked to hear a couple of things when you rang up last week, and we've pulled them out of the library. And the first thing we're going to play for you in this week's program is a lovely song called Golden Earrings from the one and only Bing Crosby. And this was recorded in December on the 3rd of... This was recorded in 1947 in Los Angeles on the 3rd of December. And it's John Scott Trotter's... I'll have to take these teeth out and start again. It's John Scott Trotter's orchestra backing Bing on the lovely Golden Earrings. I hope you enjoy it, mate.
There's a story the gypsies know is true. So be my gypsy, make love your guiding light, and let this pair of golden earrings cast their spell tonight.
Now, I wonder how many people picked the orchestra there. That was Russ Morgan and his orchestra. And in Tap Dance Tempo, we heard the Ira and George Gershwin song, Strike Up the Band. And I'm going to send a greeting to my friend Shirley Morgan in Las Vegas as Mrs. Russ Morgan. I know Shirley will be listening to this on a tape, which I'm sending her of this program. So I hope you enjoyed hearing Russ there. Shirley, all right, it's now 9 minutes away from 9 o'clock.
There's radio, yes, radio is here to stay. You can depend upon a great show wherever you go on radio. Wherever you go, there's radio, yes, radio is here to stay. Whether home or in your car, no matter where you are, there's radio night and day. Wherever you go, there's radio, and radio is here to stay.
Castles and kings are everyday things. There's no extreme if you can dream and just believe the
the things you dream.
Remember Darryl Stewart? Darryl Stewart on that particular Columbia 78, little the worse for the wear, but I thought it was worth a play with Bob Gibson and his band, and from a 1955 MGM movie, Meet Me in Las Vegas, If You Can Dream.
You're listening to Thanks for the Memory, part of your weekend on Southern FM 88.3.
Coming up to 4 minutes to 9, and how many people, I wonder, listened to our talent quest today? The first heat was conducted of our talent quest between 2 and 3 o'clock, and we had 8 great acts, and it was a terrific day. The only trouble is I feel as if I haven't left the studio, but never mind. I don't mind doing these things. I was just going to play a little reminder about next week's Heat 2, so I might do that now. Here's your invitation to be tuned to Southern FM on Sunday for this week's heat of Southern Talent Quest. This program, featuring up-and-coming talent, will be broadcast between 2 and 3 p.m. Your announcer will be Ray Lawrence, and your compere is Bob Horsfall. For an hour of great entertainment, don't miss Southern Talent Quest, Sunday 2 till 3 on 88.3 Southern FM. And of course that's next Sunday between 2 and 3 for Heat 2 and another 8 acts. By golly, the standard of the acts was excellent. It's now up to you to vote on them, of course. 3 to 9. At 9 o'clock, the Hall of Fame. But here's a nice song from Jane Powell. And let's listen to this one. It comes from the film Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. And Margaret out there at Noble Park wanted to hear this. So here you go, Margaret. Wonderful, wonderful day. Jane Powell.
It's best for you, your family too. Iceberg Dairy Fresh Butter.
9 o'clock, and that was the voice of the late Elaine McKenna. And what a lovely lady she was. Gone too soon. And now, on Thanks for the Memory, it's time for Alex Hehr's Hall of Fame. Yes, this is the part of the show where we look at the births and deaths of famous people throughout history. And let's look at the births firstly. On this day in 1916, the American singer, yodeler and comedian Judy Canova was born. American singer June Christie was born in 1925. The British journalist and broadcaster Alastair Cook was born in 1908, and Robert Kennedy, the senator from the USA, was born in 1925. On the distaff side, or the departing of the mortal coil, Lynn Barry, the American singer, died in 1989. The American producer John C. Foreman died on this day in 1992. British musician Mel Hallett died in 1952. And let's see over the page, Alan Sherman, the American comedian. He died on this day in 1973. There's our look at On This Day for the 20th of November. minutes past 9. At 9:15 we'll have the first playing of our regular presentation of On This Day. 2 past 9, and here's some music from Dick Haymes.
I'm as restless as a willow in a windstorm. I'm as jumpy as a puppet on a string. I'd say that I had spring fever, but I know it isn't spring. I am starry-eyed and vaguely discontented, like a nightingale without a song to sing. Oh, why should I have spring fever when it isn't even spring?
Dick Haymes in a 1955 recording of the lovely Rodgers and Hammerstein song It Might As Well Be Spring, with the orchestra there conducted by Ian Barnard. Until midnight, you're with Alex Hehr, and thanks for the memory on the great Southern Sounds of Melbourne, Southern FM 88.3. We'd love to hear from you if you're listening to the program and you're enjoying it. Give us a call and we'll give you a little cheerio over the air. Or if you'd like a record, we'll be happy to play that for you too. 556 4466. That's right, isn't it? 556 4466. Okay, more music.
Why don't you powder your face with sunshine? Whistle a tune of gladness. Bloom never was in style. The future's brighter when hearts are lighter. Smile, smile, smile.
Yes, that's a good song, isn't it? Powder Your Face with Sunshine. Orrin Tucker and his orchestra, with the vocal by Orrin Tucker, and a song published in 1949, and which was featured in the film Cowtown, which starred Gene Autry and Gail Davis. Powder Your Face with Sunshine.
Will you survive if there's a bushfire in your district?
Bushfire? We've got to get out of here, Willie.
No, Wally. In most cases, the best thing to do is stay inside your house, provided you take proper precautions.
What precautions, Willie?
They're all spelled out in this brochure, Wally.
Oh.
Will you survive?
Great. I'm going to get
Not now, Wally.
Be fire safe. Contact your local fire authority for your copy of Will You Survive?
And time now is coming up to 9 minutes past 9 o'clock. The Beaumaris Art Group Incorporated annual art exhibition and ceramic mural unveiling will be held from Sunday the 4th of December to Sunday the 11th of December. The exhibition incorporates the President's Award for Ceramic Sculpture and the James Humphrey Award for Painting. Exhibits of drawings, paintings, pottery, children's work, etc., studio sales of pottery and a wide range of crafts, great Christmas bargains, etc., all at the opening of the Beaumaris exhibition down there at 3 p.m, Sunday the 4th of December. And the mural unveiling will be held at the same time. Gallery hours are between 11 and 3 p.m. on a daily basis. So get along to the Beaumaris Art Group, their exhibition commencing on Sunday the 4th of December, and I'm just looking to see where that is. It's at the Community Centre, Reserve Road in Beaumaris. Further inquiries, 589-4917. 589-4917. 10 after 9.
You're listening to Thanks for the Memory, part of your weekend on Southern FM 88.3.
My daydreams lie buried in autumn leaves. They're covered with autumn rain. The time is sweet September, the place so shady lane. I'm riding the wings of an autumn breeze. The spring is here to meet September, that September in the rain.
You're tuned to the great southern sounds of Melbourne, 88.3 Southern FM.
Where our time is fast approaching 14 minutes past 9. And it is pouring rain around here in Moorabbin. I don't know where you are. And we've got thunder, we've got lightning, we've got everything. But never mind. Stay snuggled up beside the radio listening to Southern FM 88.3. Your 10 o'clock special tonight will be part one of the Eddie Cantor story. Now, this is a wonderful story that Eddie narrates, and he sings all of his songs and tells the story of his beginning. And it's recorded at the Carnegie Hall in New York many, many years ago. It's part one tonight. Part two will be next week. So I hope you can stay with us at 10 o'clock for the 10 o'clock special. On this day in 1947, Princess Elizabeth, heir presumptive to the British throne, married Lieutenant Philip Mountbatten amid scenes of pomp and splendour not seen since before the war. Undeterred by the rain, the crowd slept overnight in streets to secure the best view and were standing 50 deep in the Mall and Whitehall to cheer the King and his daughter on their way to the Abbey. The princess's ivory dress, covered with flowers of beads and pearls, and her tulle veil with a circlet of diamonds, were designed by Norman Hartnell. On this day in 1945, the trial of 24 senior Nazis accused of war crimes and crimes against humanity opened in Nuremberg. The defendants are representative of 35,000 on whom the Allies have opened dossiers. Among the most notable were Luftwaffe leader Hermann Goering and the founder of the Gestapo, Julius Streicher. Samuel Cunard, who was born in 1787, American actress Jean Tierney, born in 1920, the South African novelist and anti-apartheid campaigner Nadine Gordimer was born in 1923, and Robert F. Kennedy, the American politician and Democratic Attorney General, born in 1925. It all happened on this day. It's 18 minutes after 9 o'clock, and it is pouring down here. I wonder whether you can hear that coming through the microphone, but, oh well, we might have to start building an ark.
As a phone user, you now have access to the Telecommunications Industry Ombudsman, an independent office established to help settle any unresolved complaints or disputes you may have with your telephone company. The Telecommunications Ombudsman is a last resort free service for those telephone complaints that seem unsolvable. If you have a complaint, you can call the Ombudsman's office toll-free on 1-800-062-058. That's 1-800-062-058. An industry ombudsman for phone users.
Mum and Dad were having a little bit of a pride of Erin around the kitchen table there. We heard Fred Hanna and his Irish country dance band with The Gentle Maiden, My Wild Irish Rose, Kitty of Coleraine, and Believe Me If, all those endearing young charms on this rather wet night in Melbourne. And our time now is 22 minutes after 9 o'clock, and you're on Southern FM 88.3. The next indoor craft market at the Moonee Ponds Community Hall, which is the Old Town Hall, will be held on Sunday the 27th of November, and the time is between 10 a.m. and 4 p.m. And a twilight market will also be held on December the 11th, and that time is from 10 a.m. until 8 p.m. Over 140 quality stalls located on the corner of Mount Alexander and Pascoe Vale Roads. That's at Moonee Ponds Junction. Now, the Melways reference is 28J7. 28J7 for the next indoor craft market at the Moonee Ponds Community Hall. Your time is now 23 minutes after 9.
When the world seems upside down and you're feeling low, you can easily lose that frown and set your heart aglow. All you really need to do is have a little drink or two of Gilby's gin. It's good for you, but don't say gin, say Gilby's. It will brighten up the day, drive your troubles all away, put you in a mood so gay. But don't say gin, say Gilby's.
Gin is really good for you. Sip it at your leisure. Serve it just to suit the taste. It's bound to meet with pleasure.
In a cocktail, it's just fine. A gin and tonic, that's divine. Whichever way you take it, it's on the line. But don't say gin, say Gilbey's.
Fools rush in where angels fear to tread. When we met, I felt my life begin. So open up your heart and let this fool rush in.
Wake up and live, don't mind the rainy patter, and you will find it's mind over matter, and a better day is dawning. Won't you get a mister? Wake up and live.
That's a swingeroony, isn't it? Ella Fitzgerald with Chick Webb and his orchestra, and a song published in 1937, written by Mac Gordon and Harry Revel. And it was introduced in the movie of the same name, Wake Up and Live. And before that we heard Tony Martin and a lovely song from 1940. Johnny Mercer and Rube Bloom wrote it, called Fools Rush In. You're on Thanks for the Memory with Alex Hehr through until midnight on this rather wet and windy and blustery night. Dear oh dear, I don't know what it's coming to. It's 9:30.
Where the blue of the night meets the gold of the day, someone waits for me.
On Thanks for the Memory, we present Crosby Corner.
Crowns the blue of her eyes like a halo tenderly. If only I could see her.
And welcome to another edition of Crosby Corner on Thanks for the Memory. Tonight, another two classic tracks from Bing Crosby. Firstly tonight, Did You Ever See a Dream Walking? The song written by Mac Gordon and Harry Revel, and introduced by Ginger Rogers and Art Jarrett in the film Sitting Pretty in 1933. Eddie Duchin and his orchestra had a #1 hit with the song, but it's Bing's version tonight with Lenny Hayton and his orchestra that we're playing, and this was recorded in Los Angeles on the 11th of December 1933. Did you ever see a dream walking?
Something very strange and mystic happened to me. Did you ever see a dream walking? Well, I did. Did you ever hear a dream talking? Well, I did. Did you ever have a dream that thrill you with will you be mine? Oh, it's so grand and it's too divine. Did you ever see a dream dancing? Well, I did. Did you ever see a dream romancing? Well, I did. Did you ever see heaven right in your arms, saying I love you, I do? Well, the dream that was walking and the dream that was talking and the heaven in my arms was you.
Did you ever see a dream walking? There from 1933. Now to the year 1940, and a song written by Louis Alter and Frank Lesser. It was introduced by Burt Wheeler in the Paramount movie Las Vegas Nights. The tune I talk about is Dolores. On this recording, Bing is accompanied by brother Bob Crosby and his Bobcats, with a nice saxophone solo by Eddie Miller. They made this recording in Los Angeles on the 23rd of December, 1940. Dolores. A nice tune there, Bing Crosby with the Bob Crosby's Bobcats and Dolores from 1940, concluding tonight's edition of Crosby Corner.
Where the blue of the night meets the gold of the day, someone waits for me.
Couple of nice songs there, wasn't there, in that little Crosby Corner? I hope you enjoyed them. It's 22 minutes away from 10 o'clock. The rain's eased off a little, but this announcement is quite current.
Every year, severe storms do millions of dollars worth of damage to property. Severe storms can happen anywhere, and they're very scary. Lightning, hailstones as big as golf balls, huge winds, rain in buckets. They can kill people. But there are things you can do and people to turn to. For free pamphlets on how to cope with severe storms, call your local state emergency service.
21 to 10. At 10 o'clock we'll have the Eddie Cantor special for tonight. Part 1 of the Eddie Cantor story, and I'm sure you will enjoy that. Right, it's now time to listen to a musical oddity and an announcement from the Theatre Organ Society, and here is Denzel Housen.
Hi there. This is Denzel Housen with another musical oddity. That unusual but pleasant melody is being played on a most unusual instrument. A unique instrument, for it's believed to be the only one of its kind in the world. It's being played by its inventor, Ros Bant. Ros calls the instrument a flagong. Imagine the word flagon with a G on the end of it, and you've got it. And the reason it's called a flagong is because it consists mainly of glass flagons suspended from a wooden frame. The flagons are empty, and most of them have been truncated by being cut short with a diamond cutter. Others look as though they've just been broken to bring them to their present shape. Ros strikes the broken and cut flagons with 2 felt-padded hammers, and sometimes she strikes a row of ceramic dishes which are sitting on the floor in front of the wooden frame. And this atmospheric music is the result. Unusual music, to say the least. But there'll be nothing unusual about the music at the Malvern Town Hall at 8 p.m. on Saturday night, November the 26th. Spectacular, yes, but not unusual. Whenever Adelaide organist Chris McPhee is at the console of a theatre organ, the performance is a real knockout. Last year, this 20-year-old virtuoso was outright winner of the Young Organist competition at the convention of the American Theatre Organ Society. So book now for the Chris McPhee concert featuring the mighty Compton Theatre Organ at the Malvern Town Hall on Saturday, November the 26th at 8 p.m. Phone Ray Gregory on 354-9227. 354-9227 and enjoy Chris McPhee as a pre-Christmas treat.
18.5 minutes away from 10 o'clock. Thank you, Denzel, for that interesting little piece. In a moment, we'll have a tribute to Cab Calloway.
You're listening to Thanks for the Memory, part of your weekend on Southern FM 88.3.
Well, the news came through just today of the passing of Cab Calloway, who died aged 86 as a result of complications following a stroke he had earlier this year. Cab Calloway, of course, had a wonderful career spanning some 60 years on the stage, and he did many wonderful things. He was born on the 25th of December, Christmas Day, 1907. Just 5 weeks short of his 87th birthday. And by way of a tribute tonight to Cab Calloway, let's listen to his theme, the song that I guess he's best known for, Minnie the Moocher. Oh yes, poor Min, the late Cab Calloway and Minnie the Moocher from 1931.
Where today's community news makes conversation, the great southern sounds of Melbourne, 88.3 Southern FM.
Yes, Moon Country there, presented by Hoagy Carmichael and his orchestra, with the vocal of Hoagy Carmichael, and the song which he wrote with Johnny Mercer, recorded in New York on the 9th of March, 1934. And before that we heard from George Trevere and his dance music, an Australian group, with the vocalist of Annette Kluger. Remember Annette Kluger? She was on a lot of the early television shows. A resident of Melbourne, Annette Kluger there, and the song That's For Me.
As death and terror devastate Rwanda, World Vision is there, providing food, blankets, clothing, healthcare, inside Rwanda and in border refugee camps. Thousands of innocent Rwandans are suffering terribly from disease and hunger, especially mothers and their children. Please give to World Vision now and help us meet their most urgent needs. Call 132240 right away or give through any ANZ bank. The Rwandans need you. Call World Vision now, 132240.
7 to 10, and we'll have the 10 o'clock special coming up in 7 minutes.
Rhythm fans in North Africa have asked for the next number, which has been especially arranged for the Skyrockets by Ronnie Mills, On the Sunny Side of the Street.
Music, information, local news, radio drama, all part of the great southern sounds of Melbourne. 88.3 Southern FM.
When the lights go on again, all over the world, and the boys are home again, all over the world, and rain or snow is all that may fall from the skies above. A kiss won't mean goodbye, but hello to love. When the lights go on again, all over the world, and the ships will sail again, all over the world. Then we'll have time for things like wedding rings, and free hearts will sing when the lights go on again, all over the world. When we have our victory, time for things like wedding rings, and free hearts will sing when the lights go on again, all over the world.
Reaching out to your community, the great southern sounds of Melbourne. 88.3 Southern FM.
And we heard Dick Todd that time with a recording he made in 1942, When the Lights Go On Again, which was featured in the movie of the same name. And before that, the Canadian band of the Expeditionary Forces, conducted by Robert Farnan, and that was recorded at the All Services Club in Soho, London in summer 1945, and that's actually taken from a transcription. It's 2 minutes to 10. We'll have Diana Trask, I think, with Our Language of Love prior to our special tonight. So here's Diana with Glenn Osser from the show r request there for Les of East Bentley, and I hope you enjoyed that one, Les. Diana Trask and Glenn Osser's Orchestra from Ir Maladus in 1956, recording and Our Language of Love. And it's coming up to 2 minutes after 10. It's time for our special, and I'll be out on the phones if you'd like to give us a call. For the next 25 minutes or so, I'll be out answering the phones, so I'd love to speak to you. Yes, and as we've been saying all night, tonight we're playing part one of the Eddie Cantor story, Eddie Cantor's life in his own words and his music. And we'll play part two next week. All right, so shortly, the Eddie Cantor story, part one.
Thank you very much. China, if she wanted to China, I would hop an ocean liner just to be with Miss Pretty Little Dinah Lee. It was a hit from the start.
There we are, part one of the Eddie Cantor story, and we'll be back at the same time next week with part two. Eddie Cantor story in his own words and in his own songs. Hope you enjoyed it. .29 past 10 o'clock now on Southern FM 88.3. Alex Hehr is with you through until midnight, and thanks for the memory.
David and Maria are pretty much your average teenagers. They hang out with their friends, play a bit of sport, but at this moment in time, they can't live with their family. Through adolescent community placement, they'll have a real chance to be placed within a happy environment, just like your home. So if you can share your home, Adolescent Community Placement and the Children's Welfare Association of Victoria would really appreciate it. For more information, phone toll-free 1-800 013 088.
29.5 after 10 o'clock, and let's have a couple of Cheerios here to Jan Simcoe. Thanks for ringing up, Jan, and your kind messages there. That was very nice to hear from you. And to Robert and Andy, if they're listening, welcome to the program, and also to my good friend Keith Bauer and Steve Price, who does easy. No, what does he do? He does. It's all happening here on a Tuesday night, and boy, does it all happen. So I hope you're all listening and enjoying the program, and anyone else out there that's listening and would like to ring up, give us a call, get a Cheerio, whatever. We'd be happy to say good day to you on the air. 10:30 in Melbourne.
You're listening to Thanks for the Memory, part of your weekend on Southern FM 88.3.
a lively companion wherever you go. Take a portable radio.
And we heard from Jeanette MacDonald in a song published in 1930, written by Leo Robin, Richard Whiting and Frank Harling from the movie Monte Carlo, and that was Beyond the Blue Horizon. Always a firm favourite with request programs. 27 minutes away from 11 o'clock, and you're listening to Thanks for the Memory with Alex Hehr on Southern FM.
The theme from Prisoner, remember? The series celebrating its 50th anniversary is still popular in Australasia, Bahamas, Barbados, Israel, Netherlands, Poland, South Africa, Sweden, Trinidad, and big news in the United Kingdom. Small wonder there's now an official Prisoner Cell Block H fan club, as well as a fanzine. Prisoner, the Wentworth Star. A magazine about the series and cast members. For details, ring 03 563 8334, leaving name and phone number. Proceeds will aid the Women's Counselling Network for Inmates. That's 03 563 8334 for news about Prisoner, the Wentworth Star.
From a dear little Lancashire town, a boy had sailed away across the briny spray.
The great southern sounds of Melbourne, 88.3 Southern FM.
Listen, big boy, now that you got me made, keep away from fools like hooch when you're on a spree. Oh, say good, scare yourself, you belong to me.
Two in a row, and we heard firstly, She's a Lassie from Lancashire, Florrie Ford, the Australian music hall star who left Melbourne, actually lived in Melbourne, but left here very early in the century, went to London, and that's where she became a hit on the halls, as they say. And that was a song which was published firstly in 1908, She's a Lassie from Lancashire, and we followed that up with Helen Kane of Oop Oop Badoop fame, and a song written in 1928 by Buddy De Silva, Lou Brown and Ray Henderson, called Button Up Your Overcoat, and it was introduced in the musical Follow Through. Our time is now 19 minutes to 11. At 11 o'clock, comedy tonight, and it comes from Bill Cosby, a very funny gentleman, and we're having a track all about motor cars. I don't know whether it's Fat Albert's car or Dad's car or whatever, but it's quite a funny piece. You'll enjoy it. If you wish to enjoy the company of people in your own age group who go on bushwalks, garden walks, bike rides and attend wonderful social occasions at theatres and eating establishment, Walks, Wheels and Wine is for you. The club welcomes over 40s who may be single or partnered and would like to be a part of any of the many functions organised and set out in its monthly newsletter. For full details, you can phone Maureen on 015 537 068. 015 537 068. Life is for living, and Walks, Wheels and Wine will help you to live your life to the fullest. That number again, 015 537 068.
You may not find us on your TV, because in case you did not know, we're being brought to you on R.A.P.M.
If a grey-haired lady says, how's your father? If a grey-haired lady says, don't tell your mother, that's Madam herself from Mom and Dear.
Until midnight, you're with Thanks for the Memory with Alex Hehr on the great southern sounds of Melbourne, Southern FM 88.3.
Gee, but it's great after being out late, walking my baby back home. Arm in arm over meadow and farm, walking my baby back home. We go along harmonizing a song, or I'm reciting a poem. She's afraid of the dark, so I have to park outside of her door till it's light. She says if I try to kiss her, she'll cry. I dry her tears all through the night. Hand in hand to a barbecue stand, right from the doorway we roam. Each and then it's a pleasure again, walking my baby back home.
Gee, I like that song, Walking My Baby Back Home. Guy Lombardo and the orchestra. The vocalist was Cliff Grass. And that song was written in 1930, and that recording was made on the 2nd of June, 1953. Good sound. Guy Lombardo and his orchestra. And previous to that, we heard from Flanagan and Allen. And if a grey-haired lady says, how's your father?
Deep Heat. Wonderful new mentholatum deep heat rub has brought relief to millions of rheumatism sufferers in America and Britain. Deep Heat starts working within 30 seconds. For rheumatism, fibrositis, lumbago, and all muscular pains, buy a tube from your chemist today. Mentholatum Deep Heat Rub, only 7 and 6 pence.
7 and 6 pence. Now, let me see. That would be 75 cents at today's rate. 75 cents. All right. You try and buy a tube of Deep Heat for 75 cents. 11 and a half to 11 o'clock, and we'll have Bill Cosby and some comedy at 11.
The pain of arthritis can cut you off from your favorite activities, but the Arthritis Foundation can help. Call the Arthritis Easy Line on 008 011 041 for your free arthritis breakthrough kit, the latest information on controlling arthritis and improving your lifestyle. Phone 008 011 041 in business hours for your free arthritis breakthrough kit. The Arthritis Foundation and you. It's a joint effort.
I'll get by as long as I have you. It's true. Say what care I, dear, I'll get by as long as I have you.
Don't go away, won't you stay another day?
Stay another day in Melbourne and see the world's only Como, a magnificent Australian period building of the 1850s. Walk in early Australian history, see elegant colonial furniture, paintings and period clothing, and learn about the graciousness of life during Melbourne's infancy at beautiful Como in Como Park.
Won't you stay another day?
What care I who makes the laws of a nation? Let those who will take care of its rights and wrongs. What care I who cares for the world's affairs, as long as I can sing its popular songs? Let me sing a funny song with crazy words that roll along. And if my song can start you laughing, I'm happy, happy. Let me sing a sad refrain of broken hearts that loved in vain. And if my song can start you crying, I'm happy. Let me croon a low-down blues to lift you out of your sea. If my song can reach your shoes and start you tapping your feet, I'm happy. Let me sing of Dixie's charms, of cotton fields and Mammy's arms. And if my song can make you homesick, I'm happy. Let me sing a funny song with crazy words that roll along. And if my song can start you laughing, I'm happy, happy. Let me sing a sad refrain of broken hearts that loved in vain. And if my song can start you crying, I'm happy. Let me croon a low-down blues to lift you out of your sea. If my song can reach your shoes and start you tapping your feet, I'm happy. Let me sing of Dixie's charms, of those cotton fields and Mammy's arms. And if my song can make you homesick, I'm happy.
You're tuned to the great southern sounds of Melbourne, 88.3 Southern FM.
It's 5 minutes to 11 on Southern FM 88.3. We do hope that you're enjoying the music and that you'll stay with us for the next hour and 5 minutes, because we've got lots more coming your way. And at 11 o'clock, in 5 minutes' time, we're going to be presenting Bill Cosby and My Dad's Car.
Time for the weather.
Here's Matt.
Yes, and the forecast for Victoria issued by the Bureau of Meteorology tells us of a warning. Strong southwesterly wind over all Victorian coastal waters, easy in the west later in the day. And for Victoria, showers in southern and mountain districts becoming isolated and contracting to the south. Cool southwesterly wind reaching strong wind force along the coast before moderating in the west later. A high fire danger in northern forests. For Port Phillip and Western Port Bay, southwesterly wind of 20 to 30 knots, easing to 15 to 20 knots later in the morning. Waves to 1 to 2 metres, decreasing to 1 metre or less later in the morning. A strong wind warning is current. For the Melbourne and metropolitan area, a few clearing showers, cloudy periods with a fresh southwesterly wind moderating. An overnight low of 11 is expected, and a maximum of 19 tomorrow. Currently is 13 degrees.
Thank you, Matt. And that brings our time along to 3.5 minutes away from 11.
You're listening to Thanks for the Memory, part of your weekend on Southern FM 88.3.
On a little street in Singapore, Harry James and the orchestra, the song written in 1940 by Bill Hill and Peter DeRose. That was rather pleasant, wasn't it? Southern FM 88.3, it's right on 11 o'clock. And 11 o'clock in our program Thanks for the Memory means it's comedy time. Let's join Bill Cosby. He's talking about his dad's car.
I borrowed my father's car, and after about the 6th week, he came into the living room. I knew from the look on his face I was in trouble. And I hope your legs hurt. You get a 50-cent worth of gas, give the man 25-cent deposit on the can. You come back here, you put gas in the tank, then you put some in the carburetor, then you get in front of the car because I'm going to run over you.
And there we are, a very funny man, Bill Cosby and My Dad's Car. On Southern FM, it's 11:06. Why don't we have a look at the lineup for tomorrow, Monday, the 21st of November, commencing at 6 a.m. in the morning with early morning music, Mark Hehr, some nice classical music to wake you up. Then at 8 o'clock, the Digger and Danny radio show through until 9, when it's Southern Celebrities. Tomorrow, Monday Magazine with Bob Horsfall and Robin Collins. They go through until 11 o'clock. And if you haven't caught that show, I strongly recommend it to you. A great show, great lineup of guests, and some very nice music they play as well. Then at 11 o'clock, Soul to Soul with Deborah Elise. 12 noon brings the music mix with Trevor Walters. 2 o'clock, it's Southern Country with Reg Pitt. 4 o'clock, great program, Dean Gary Measer with Dean's World, through until 4:30 when it's Dave Caffey's Drive Time. 6:30, Your Money and Your Life with Terry Johansson. 7 o'clock, Right Now with Kerry Blair and Noel Franklin. 8 o'clock, the Celtic Mix with Declan Foley. Projections South with Rosa Morales at 9. Tiempo de Tango at 10 with Ruben Espinoza. And then at 11 o'clock, the Bosnian Community Show. That's the lineup for Monday here on Southern FM 88.3, where the time is now 11:08.
1909, Blériot flew the English Channel. 1928, Smithy's Trans-Pacific Flight. The 1960s, space travel.
What other science has advanced so far and fast as aeronautics? Young men who join the RAAF become part of this fast-moving world of aviation. They gain specialized skills, lead interesting lives.
This is a technical age. Be well trained for it in the Air Force. Watch newspapers for RAAF recruiting details.
That was Barbara Cook. If you thought you recognised the voice, yes, it was Barbara Cook, and a song from 1902, written by Charles K. Harris and published that year, 1902, After the Ball. And we hope you enjoyed that version of it, which was presented by Barbara Cook. It's now 13 minutes after 11 o'clock, and we'll have another piece of music, I think. Why not? And this comes from, oh yes, Frank Fontaine. And this is a nice old tune too, called Carolina in the Morning. Remember this one? Written by Walter Donaldson and Gus Kahn from 1922. Frank Fontaine sings Carolina in the Morning.
Nothing could be finer than to be in Carolina in the morning. No one could be sweeter than my sweetie when I meet her in the morning. Where the morning glories climb around the door, whispering pretty stories I love to hear once more. Strolling with my girlie where the dew is pretty early in the morning. Butterflies Butterflies will flutter up and kiss each little buttercup at dawning. If I had a lad's lamp for only a day, I'd make a wish and here's what I'd say. Nothing could be finer than to be in Carolina in the morning. Everybody whistle! Everybody! Come on, Harry and Barbara!
Where the morning glories
sing,
whine around the door,
beautiful,
whispering pretty stories I long to hear once more.
strolling with my girlie where the dew is pearly early in the morning. Butterflies will flutter up and kiss each little buttercup at dawning. If I had a lad's lamp for only a day, I'd make a wish and here's what I'd say. Nothing could be finer than to be in Carolina in the morning.
On this day in 1947, Princess Elizabeth, heir presumptive to the British throne, married Lieutenant Philip Mountbatten amid scenes of pomp and splendour not seen since before the war. Undeterred by the rain, the crowd slept overnight in streets to secure the best view and were standing 50 deep in the Mall and Whitehall to cheer the King and his daughter on their way to the Abbey. The princess's ivory dress, covered with flowers of beads and pearls, and her tulle veil with a circlet of diamonds, were designed by Norman Hartnell. On this day in 1945, the trial of 24 senior Nazis accused of war crimes and crimes against humanity opened in Nuremberg. The defendants are representative of 35,000 on whom the Allies have opened dossiers. Among the most notable were Luftwaffe leader Hermann Göring and the founder of the Gestapo, Julius Streicher.